Doing Time with Deputy Mike.
Hi, welcome back to Doing Time with Deputy Mike. I'm your host, Mike. And today, I guess we're going to be talking about American heroes. So without further ado, let's move on to roll call. Grab your feet and take a seat. It's roll call time. Want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Go ahead, Lily.
My name's Lily. I'm from LeBray, and I'm a senior.
All right. My name's Travis Lanieve. My home school is McDonald High School, and I'm a senior.
And I'm Jeff Ford. I live in Vienna and graduated in Liberty Township.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And we're going to move right on into interrogation.
Interrogation time.
Jeff, we'll start with you. What is your favorite part of your job? Oh, what? Better yet, why don't you explain to us what you do?
Okay,
first.
so I'm a 911 dispatcher and supervisor. This coming up January of 2026 will be my 30th year there. We're in charge of all the police and fire departments in Trumbull County, with the exceptions of a few departments. I guess my favorite part of the job is just talking to so many people and being able to help them. Beginning of the year was the first time in the 29 years so far that I was able to deliver a baby on the phone. So that was kind of like the highlight of the career for me.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Wait, can you guys pull up the applause on that one? I don't know if we have our stingers working or not. I can't tell if they are anyways. So, Travis, what was the main reason you chose to join the Navy?
Well, I mean, I think really even just joining the military in general, ever since I was in 6th grade, I've always wanted to join the military. But really, it's just I always felt this obligation to serve and be a part of something much bigger than myself. I also have had family in the military, and I always wanted to go in that path for a very long time. And of course, the branches have changed over that time. But for the Navy part, I have very good recruiters, even my main recruiter and the other ones in the office as well, to explain to me all the jobs that were available to me based on test scores and where I sit, and what I want to do and what I actually am signed on to and sworn into now is nuclear propulsion engineering on an aircraft carrier for the U.S. Navy.
Nice. That's a big job.
It is a very big job, but there is a good amount of schooling that does come with that, but I'm ready to take it on so I could be a part of that.
Very nice. Lily, you want to go ahead and what made you want to commit?
My grandpa was a Marine, and I thought I wanted to make him proud ever since I was younger. I've always wanted to go into the military.
And you chose the Air Force, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to work as a firefighter in the Air Force, so I thought that would be a good choice.
And when you come out back to the civilian life, Jeff could probably be dispatching for you.
Yeah.
So what exactly is it you want to do in the Air Force?
I'm going to be a firefighter. That's
That is what you're going to be doing?
Yes, and maybe get my fire investigator card.
Very nice. Well, you'll have all your fire credentials by the time you graduate, correct?
I'll have my EMT when I graduate, and I'll have the background for Fire 1 and 2.
Okay, very nice, very nice. And how much schooling does it take for the nuclear engines?
So for the nuclear propulsion engineering, you'll start off, of course, everybody has to go to boot camp. It's a minimum. That's 9
Correct.
weeks. That's Great Lakes, Illinois. And then there is a total of 18 months of schooling after that. It's broken into 3 6-month courses. So your first one's A school, in which that'll start covering like your basic mathematics, sciences, and principles behind all of it, thermodynamics, all of those things of that nature. Then you have a little bit of time in between. You go to your next 6-month course, which is kind of what's known as like the power school. So it's really start learning about the nuclear trade, what it fully entails. And then finally, you'll have your last one, which is C school, also 6 months. It's pretty much kind of what we have here, like on-the-job learning. You'll actually be running a nuclear reactor in South Carolina. So,
I know our aircraft carriers are nuclear. I know our subs are nuclear. I don't know what are the cruisers or battleships. I don't know what they're calling them nowadays, but the cruisers, correct?
yeah, the cruisers and destroyers and stuff.
Destroyers
like that.
still. But are those nuclear or are they not?
To my knowledge, I do not believe they are. I
don't
believe
think
it is
they
only
are.
the aircraft carriers and submarines.
Are.
But I think they do have some maybe in development, but the only ones currently right now is your aircraft carriers and submarines.
Well, yeah,
That's your only two options right
Because
now.
your subs are made to go on, like they go off and they disappear
Yeah,
for quite a long
for
time.
months at a time underwater. Yeah.
And of course your carriers are made to stay out there
Oh yeah.
for extremely long times also.
It could be up to almost 6 months,
Months.
and that's just for your personal deployment. I mean, the ship could be
Right.
out longer than that as well. So.
Right. Well, Jeff, what made you decide to get into dispatching?
So, this was a long time ago. I started working at the McKinley Heights Fire Department as a dispatcher there, and that was prior to 911 being established in Trumbull County. And once 911 started, they told me, hey, we're not going to have a need for a dispatcher anymore. So I started doing firefighting, and one of the guys that I worked with at the station got a job at the 911 center and said, why don't you come apply? So I tried. I was only 19, had my first interview, and they said, you're too young, even though you've got some experience. So they called me back a couple months later, and I got the job there, and I've been there ever since.
That was, I'm trying to think back.
Back in 96 is when I got hired. Yeah.
96.
January 96.
'Cause that's pretty much when we met.
Yeah.
Yep.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Yep. And really, it's not dispatching. Your technical term is
It's telecommunications because we answer not just 911 calls, but non-emergency calls. We call the road departments out when the roads get bad, if there's a water break. We do a lot of public stuff behind the scenes that people wouldn't think 911 does.
right.
We do all of it.
Well, even from '96 to now, like with the relationships, even with the police and the fire, have changed so much.
Yeah.
I mean, now you can track us, find, you watch. To me, you're like our guardian angel. Even we need guardian angels, I will say this, because it's nice knowing that if I'm on a really crappy call, and we get a lot of those,
Yeah.
before you're kind of off there, especially if you're in a part-time department or whatnot, but you're on your own.
Right.
And now you guys are watching over us. You know exactly where we're at. And I mean, after a while too, you could tell, I'm sure, like, if things are going good or bad by the
You
voices.
get that, and you get that gut feeling. Yeah.
I mean,
I actually had one of those the other day. A lady called 911 and she hung up. I called her back and I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "I'm fine." And I just knew the way she reacted. I said, something's not right.
something's not wrong.
So I sent Brookfield there, and it ended up being a domestic.
Domestic.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So where do you, I'm jumping around here, so you bear with me, guys. Lily, like, where is it when, because everyone's always dispatched overseas or wherever, but is there like anywhere particularly like you, in your travels, that you really would like to see?
I'd love to get to go to Germany, be a firefighter in Germany, or they have a base in Alaska I could work in. That would be great. If I had to pick U.S. states, probably South Carolina or California to get a wildfire card.
Very nice. That's interesting. Wildfire. That's very dangerous. How about you? Where would you like that? Where's your dream
I kind of want to, especially for the Navy, a lot of places that they go. Definitely places in Europe, like France. They usually sometimes all layovers and stopovers, I should say, in like near England, Ireland. I would like to go as well, actually, to Germany, because that's where part of my heritage comes from as well. Italy, definitely a good one, but actually another one that's really high up on the list, and this is probably one of the top ones, is Japan. I'd actually like to
Yes.
see
Japan.
Japan
Yeah.
and experience it, because the most popular one for the Navy is Tokyo. So
Yeah.
I think that'd be a pretty fun experience.
It's like everyone wants to go to Germany. My brother was a tanker,
Mhm.
and everybody in his thing, like out of his boot camp, everyone got to go to Germany except for him and his best friend, and they got shipped to South Korea. That was
That would be
very
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody else went to Germany, not him. Now, my cousin, who actually I believe is it a lieutenant colonel,
Mhm.
and he's actually now in charge of, please forgive me if I hack this up,
Hmm.
the 5th Battalion Safety Forcing, it's Air Force.
Security forces.
Yes. So
Mhm.
he is now the lieutenant command. He controls all that.
Oh, nice.
And he actually just took control of like a month ago.
That was actually my original pick when I was going to join. I wanted to do security forces and decided otherwise.
Yeah, that's my baby cousin, Andrew, who's not so much of a baby anymore. Well, he was in Germany for a while, and he did 2 or 3 stunts over in Afghanistan. Was getting out. Ended up going into Black Ops for a while, and met his wife over in Afghanistan, but and then got out of it, and somehow somebody talked him into coming back, and they promoted him to lieutenant colonel, and yeah. All right, back to you, Jeff. So through the years, you've heard a lot of crazy things.
If you think it, we've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say one of your most enjoyable
Enjoyable?
calls would have been, if you can remember, like one of the funny ones? That
Yeah, to be honest, it's like a lot of the funny ones, either we can't talk about on a live show.
So
But it's unfortunate that it's mostly the bad ones you remember, because nobody calls
right.
us to say, hey, how
How are you today?
Yeah, so it's very infrequent that we get the funny calls. Yeah. Today, the end of my shift, I had an 86-year-old gentleman. His son came to the house and found him deceased. So, we
That
deal
was today?
Today, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right before I came in. So, it's a lot of death that we deal with.
And it's hard.
It is, yeah. And
It is
hard.
hard.
Over the years, it's like your skin gets
Tough.
tough, it gets thick, and it's like the normal person, we have a different sense of humor, and
We
you
do.
know that.
And you guys actually will too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
It's just the way that
this
It's
is
the
just
way
the
the
way
job
it
is.
is.
It's the way
It is.
yeah.
yeah. So somebody may tell a story about something that happened to them, and we may look like we have no empathy with it, and we do. It's just
Yeah,
the
we're
line of
showing
work.
it differently.
You hear it every single day, and you get tough about it.
Right. Well, let's go back to you folks again. So I do have a couple pictures up here. This is, you guys are being sworn in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that, yes, they got it up there. So you want to go ahead and tell us about your swearing day, like how it went?
Yeah. So it was a very, very long day. We were actually both up there at
Yeah,
the same time.
same
We both
time.
went up on the Wednesday and stayed the night at the hotel.
So
and
this is,
went-
all right, so you guys were literally up there together?
Yes.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we actually did see each other there, so.
Yeah.
But it was a very long day. 4 a.m. wake up call,
Yes.
and then we were at MEPS by 5:30 a.m.
5:30 we were leaving to go, or
We left at 5:20. We were there by
Yes.
5:30.
Now, are you in 2 separate locations though? Because
on the bus ride there we were together, and
Yeah.
then we went in together, and then I think, did you take tests?
Yeah, I had to run around the hall and take another ASVAB and a PICAT.
Yeah, while he was taking a test, I was doing my physical because I had already previously taken my ASVAB before going down.
Now, are you going to be part of the Space Force?
No.
No? Okay. All right. I just was looking at the logo there, and everyone wants to jump right into outer space, and it's not really jumping into outer space, but the big thing are satellites and stuff like that. And everyone thinks it's such a joke, but they're not realizing actually what it is and how much power, like, if you get into that you really have at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. Those are the only two pictures we got of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think of a call from years ago that we might have handled. There's so many calls, and the bad thing is, as time goes, it depresses, and I cannot.
Yeah, you
back.
forget them.
Yeah, you do. I went out for knee surgery, and unfortunately, my last call that I took, my very last call, happened to be a suicide. And what was worse was it was a young person.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me pretty much all summer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still off and on. I don't know. And
I still remember my first 911 call I took when I was on my own, and that was, again, a long time ago, probably the middle of 1996. It was in the morning in Brookfield, and a girl woke up to go to school, went in to get her brother. Brother wasn't answering the bedroom door, and went in and found that he committed suicide with a shotgun overnight. So they stick with you, you know.
Yeah,
and
they haunt you.
They do. They do.
And that, again, that's where your dark sense of humor starts to emerge. And people think that you really, it's like, have no feelings or whatnot. And it's not that. You're trying to cope with your own feelings, and you just start looking at life a whole lot differently.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
You do. We take kid calls, and the first thing I think of is my kids. When you get off the phone, you want to, my kids are older now, but it's still the same thing.
It doesn't matter. You're
You know.
a parent. Once you're a parent.
Yeah.
And, I never realized this either when I was younger, but until you become a parent, you look at things a certain way. And then once that thing happens to you, and it kind of, the way you look at things totally flips. Like before, you know what, like, it didn't matter what, like, happened to me at one point or another, blah, 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 whatever. And when you're young, you're invincible anyways.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, got married, I became a father. That's a whole different story. Then it's like you worry because it's like, something can't happen to you because I don't want to lose what I just got, and I want to be there for those kids. And then when you're dealing with like other people's families and kids, that's whole different too, because I can't count how many domestics I've gone on, and in a while it's just like a flow chart kind of thing. You go in, you do this thing.
It almost becomes a routine.
And you arrest somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's like bum bum bum. You ask a couple questions. You look at each, like everybody involved. You compile up in your mind, okay, who looks like the real aggressor here, and then you make an arrest. And you walk out the door, and you throw it behind you, like, done. On to the next one.
Now it's in the past.
Yeah. But then, once you got that family and stuff, and then all of a sudden now you're walking in, and you kind of got a different look at things.
Your perspective changes.
Totally changes. Yeah. And, depending on what you guys do, especially, I mean, you never know when war's going to break out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And it's an ugly world as it is. I mean, trying to keep this PG right here for everybody in the school, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
But when you're out there and you're in the military, and depending, who knows? Things may change. You may decide, I want to go into something like Air or Navy's. I don't know. Maybe you might just decide to become a SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe you might decide to get into the special forces they got out there. Who knows? And you know, right now it's like, yeah, I want to do this, but then you get in there, you start hearing stories or seeing things, or something happens in that switch and you clicks differently, and
Yeah.
you may head in a whole different direction of where you wanted to be. Life's a crazy thing, guys. But I'm trying to think of some things that we would have dealt with. Well, all right. Well, I'm throwing it in there. You guys know I like ghosts. I try not doing it. Water Road, our ghost road.
Warner Road.
Yeah, that was where the ghost. I had it. It was dubbed the ghost tape of Trumbull County, and it actually was the one that filmed it.
Oh,
not
wow,
knowing.
really?
Yes, this is true. I was heading down on Warner Road. There was well, not houses there really.
No, north of 305.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was pretty desolate.
Mhm.
It's changed now, but there was always reports of the ghost car, which I will say I've seen it. You're driving, and all of a sudden you look up in your mirror, and there's oil well roads, but you check the oil well road, so you know there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you look up in your mirror, and you got tail lights moving away from you. And then you try to catch the car, you can't catch it. You can never catch up to it. Just one of those things. But the one night, and he's seen the tape. He's got a copy of
I
it.
got a copy of it, yeah.
He's got the copy of it.
Yeah.
I did a traffic stop up on 305,
Okay.
and I cleared from that, and I forgot because I thought it was a DUI. So we just had cameras installed in our cruisers.
Right.
So you could either hit it manually, and if you did hit it manually to record, then you had to, of course, manually turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if I pulled you over, then it would kick on the camera
Mhm.
automatically, and when I disengaged my overheads, of course, it would shut off.
Shut off.
So I turn on to Warner Road heading north, and there's a couple signs there. And we had a murder there in the fall, or it was the fall.
You talking about
The female right there on it's now the baseball fields.
right? Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't remember her name, but
Yeah.
just north of 305.
Yes.
right there.
Yes. So I don't know if that played into it. And then I've discovered actually there is a small cemetery right there too, and those pine trees, which no one knew about either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that played into it, but anyways. So I thought, that's weird. So cell phones were new at this time, and my chief called me, and I forget, but he's going on. I'm talking to him, and I'm turning on. Well, I thought what you see are headlights. I thought it was a car coming at me. So you see me dim my brights, and I'm just talking. I'm checking the oil well roads, talking, and there's like a little bridge. I crossed the little bridge, and then there's a big oil well road. So I get up to that, and I pulled off to talk to my chief, and never dawned on me that this car never went by me. Because I was so engaged with him going on about, I don't even remember what now. And checked the oil well road, and there's one across from nobody there. And I'm just sitting there. And this was like March, I believe. Because there's still, it's in that flux where it's kind of warm, but you still got some snow on the ground kind of thing going on. And it was a little foggy. You know what I noticed when there's fog out there, weird things happen anyways.
Yes.
It does. It's true.
And you see a lot of weird things as well during those moments.
You do.
The ghost train.
Yeah.
Same area.
Same area. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when you work nights. If you've worked a long time and you haven't seen something weird, I don't know, something's not right. That's how I feel about it. But I'm sitting there talking to Chief Peterson, and there's a hill about, what would you say, a little over a quarter of a mile north. And I start seeing this light at the center, like in the middle of the road.
Right.
But it looks like it's not like a regular headlight or anything. But it comes down the hill, and then all of a sudden it's right back at the top. And it's doing this, and it's doing this. And I was sitting there watching this like, what is this?
Yeah,
You
like,
know, what is
confused.
going
I
on
was a
here?
little confused myself.
Yeah, and my chief's going on, and I'm not really even listening to him at this point. I'm just going, yeah, and I'm like looking in the dark, yeah. And next thing I know, I see a light from the west side of the road go zipping across the road to the east. Well, all of a sudden there it is again, and again, and I'm thinking, this time there wasn't really four-wheelers yet. I think there were still three-wheelers. So I'm thinking, either way, four-wheelers, three-wheelers, whatever, or snowmobiles, because there was still some snow. But then it dawned on me, I don't know where you guys live, but out in the country, you can hear a pin drop a mile away.
Oh,
you
you'll hear
can.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I'm like, wait a minute, there's no sound.
Yeah, you can't hear anything.
It's just quiet. So you see my car move. Well, that's me getting out of my car. I'm standing in the middle of the road, like watching this light show down the road. It's funny. I'm like, hey, Chief, I got to go. And I throw the phone and go down there. There's no tracks in the snow. There's like nothing. There's nothing there. It's like nothing. Well, then got a hold of Ted, our detective, Ted Cornelius, at the time, and I realized, oh wait, my recorder was on. So we pull the tape, and we start playing it. And what was weird, you could see the light. It was more like I don't think you really see it going down the hill. Well, let me back up. So the car.
Right.
The car I thought was a car.
That you didn't see past.
That didn't see past. Didn't realize. Ended up, when you pause the tape, the light that I saw actually looks like a person standing in the middle of the road.
Oh, wow.
In fact, it looked like a female, I believe, like wearing a white dress. When you framed it, because in the old VCRs you go frame by frame,
Yes.
it was walking. Like you could see it. Like each
Actually,
frame,
physically walking.
it
moving.
was walking. Then as I was getting closer and closer to it, it's just started blinking out, and all of a sudden it was like gone. And then I crossed the bridge, and you see and then the lights ahead, they almost looked like, what would you say, just a blinking. You can't really tell that it was coming down the hill.
Right.
It looked like a pulsating light, just pulsating. The lights going across the road didn't pick up at all. You couldn't see those. So we were just kind of flawed by it, like, what is this? And it's like, all right, we're going to go back out there and try to recreate this. So I parked exactly where I was parked, got out another tape, and started recording. And Ted went up there with his car, tried brights, tried dims, shut everything off, flashlights, all this. Couldn't match it up. Two different light patterns. I don't know. I mean, you've all you played with flashlights and the beams and blah, blah, blah. Couldn't recreate the light pattern on it. It was weird and too soft. It just didn't. We couldn't duplicate it.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is. But other weird things went on. What other strange calls might have you taken over the years?
The UFO sightings.
Oh, that's
We
right.
get quite a few of those. No real actual ghost calls that I can recall. We may have, but I just don't remember. But
Remember 'em.
quite a few UFO sightings. And we would call the tower
Right.
at the airport. And of course, it's, oh, there's nothing out there. We're like,
Everybody's looking at
there's
it, and
something
yeah, nothing's
there.
out there.
Yeah.
What about Bigfoot? Any Bigfoot? We're getting
No.
Bigfoot calls.
No.
No Bigfoots.
No.
That's interesting. That is interesting. But why don't let's talk about where you guys are at, your building. And Jeff actually educated me on this just a couple months ago. I did not know this, but go ahead. Tell us about your building.
So I never had the, and I know you have it, the sense of the paranormal.
Yeah.
I never had that until I started working the fire department and would see a lot of dead bodies. And then it seemed like after that, you kind of knew when you went somewhere and you weren't welcome there.
Yeah, you get
You know,
that weird feeling.
You get that feeling.
Yeah,
like,
have you guys had that
Oh,
feeling?
I've had that
yes,
feeling.
Yes.
Like
A lot of-
something's repulsing you back?
Yep.
a lot of people I work with don't have that feeling. But this was years ago. We went up to the second floor because where we're at, we're in front of Hillside Hospital.
Yes.
It's a separate building, closer to the roadway. And we were told that that was the tuberculosis hospital section. Some others say no, it was actually in Hillside. But where we're at was also the morgue for the TB patients back then because it was
Right.
prevalent. So it's 3 stories. We're mainly in the basement. The second floor has a couple offices. Third floor, it almost looks like they kept it from way back a long time ago.
How it actually was.
Yeah.
With the rooms,
Yeah.
patient rooms.
Like old school
Yeah.
type rooms. So we go to the second floor to get some supplies, and the supervisor at the time took me up there to carry the papers down. And she said, go ahead, they're right in there. So I put my hand on the doorknob and I stopped, and I looked at her and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, there's something in that room. I don't want to open the door. And she said, good, I wanted to make sure I wasn't going nuts feeling the same thing.
So she was feeling it also.
She
wow.
felt it before.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, let me get somebody else here
But
too.
we had never talked about it.
Right.
Before.
Oh, well, you know, especially
because-
back in the day, you didn't talk about this
Right,
stuff.
because then you're nuts.
Yeah.
You know, people say you're crazy. So I went in and grabbed the boxes, and we went downstairs, and I said, please don't ever make me
Do that again.
do that ever again. And ever since then, it's been horrible if I have to go to the second or third floor. It feels like somebody's putting a bear hug on me and squeezing me. I can't breathe. On our main dispatch floor, we had the old computers where you'd have to load the paper, and it was one big long sheet of paper where you'd have to rip it.
Oh, yes, I remember those.
Those would turn on and off on their own. Computers would shut off. Just a lot of weird
Weird
things.
stuff that,
And then we would have 2 main doors we would walk in, and they would have small windows. And you would see a shadow go past. Well, our building's secure, so we'd have to unlock the
Yeah.
doors.
yeah, you cannot walk into their building. You actually have to
Yeah.
be buzzed in.
Yes.
It is
Oh,
a
wow,
secured
okay.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would ask, did somebody let somebody in the door? And everybody's like, no. I'm like, well, somebody's in here. So we would go run out to the room where we saw them walk into, and there was nobody there.
Nobody there.
So we had a paranormal group came in. This was probably within the last 10 years. And they set up shop on the second and third floor. The third floor is just like a huge hallway. It's the entire length of the building. And they would set up their equipment down the hallway that would pick up, like magnetic fields.
Fluxes and stuff.
If it come up, or
Yeah.
they sensed it, it would light up. I think they lit up blue. So one of the guys called me and said, come on upstairs, which I didn't want to go up there.
Right.
He knew that,
Mhm.
but he had me go up. He turned on his recorder for the EVPs. And he started talking and said, Jeff's up here. Do you know Jeff? Do you like Jeff? Blah, blah, blah. And when he said that, all of those instruments that he had put on the floor, they all lit
They
up
went
blue
all
and started blinking the whole entire way. And he said, did you see that? And I'm like, I'm trying not even to look.
I don't
And he said the last room at the end of the hall on the right, somebody looked out and looked up towards us. And when he said that, I went back downstairs. And
You were gone.
Yeah. So he came downstairs later on and played the recording back, and he got to the point where he said, "Do you like Jeff?" And you can hear somebody say, "Yes."
That's crazy.
That was
That
it.
probably still gives you goosebumps.
It does. And the
was
last
it a guy
time,
or was it a girl? Because sometimes you can.
It was hard to tell,
tell.
but when they finished their investigation, they said that they thought it was a female nurse.
Female nurse.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then we just had another paranormal group come in, I believe it was last year, and they brought the dowsing rods.
Yes.
And I'd never used those before, and they're like, "Well, just hold on to them and don't move." And they were asking questions. I don't remember what they were.
They started moving.
And the things just went crazy. And I said, "Bye.
I'm out.
I'm out."
Have you ever, either one of you ever had anything like paranormal or weird happen to you?
I used to have this thing where at my grandma's house, I had the same thing happen to me for 2 months straight. Every single night I was there. Every night before I went to bed, I wasn't sleeping. There would be this, like, I would see some black shadow in the hallway, and I would make my grandma come check, okay? And so she kept coming out, like, over and over and over again, every night for 2 months, and there would be nobody inside. But the last time it ever happened, we were sitting there, she was talking to me. She went back in her room, and I seen it again. Normally it doesn't happen. Normally it just goes away after she comes out. And I violently threw up spaghetti that I did not ever eat spaghetti everywhere.
Ugh.
And I stopped seeing it ever again. And their house likes to, like, crack and stuff. And
Yeah,
everybody,
they all settle. Yeah.
yeah, everybody in the house always sees, like, black shadows are like this thing with me. Like, if I go into somewhere, like, because I'm on Braceville Fire Department, and so I get to run calls with them, and, like, we'll go into somebody's house, and I'll, like,
All right, so you're already dealing with a lot of this stuff.
yeah, I'll go in there, and everything will be fine, but then we'll go upstairs or we'll go downstairs to the basement, and I'll look at Chief, and Chief will look at me, and we'll just walk outside, and we're like, okay, we're done here.
So
But
you
it
think
just,
it sounds like you could have something following you in it, like attached to you.
yeah, so my house, I used to sleep upstairs, and I had moved down to the basement because I thought that if I seen it looking at, because from where my room was upstairs, it would stand in the hallway leading from the basement. So I thought, well, let's just move downstairs to the basement. Let's figure it out. And so I moved down to the stairs to the basement, and then I started having these things, like I thought somebody was living in our attic, because I kept hearing somebody walk around upstairs in our attic.
Oh, wow.
And see, and there's a difference. You know your house, like
Yeah.
you know every noise your house makes, and houses
And then
settle.
when it makes a noise that you've never heard, you've lived
Yeah,
there your whole
that's-
life, and it starts making these noises, and you're like, what is that? Like, I pulled out my phone one time to record the noise. My mom was, like, completely confused, because she's like, what was that? Like, we'll hear things all the time. Like, we even considered moving once, but it went from my grandma's house with me to my house, and it was, like, really weird. And, like, when I go places that I probably shouldn't, like, I went to, like, my friend's house one time. I never spend the night at friends' houses. I just don't. I can't do it. I don't know why. I have so bad nightmares, I can't even sleep. Like, it's, so it, like, just goes from place to place. And sometimes I'll get, like, real anxious. Like, I'll feel like the bear hug thing that you talked about. Like, when I went to somebody's house, and it felt like somebody was, like,
Putting pressure on your chest.
yes, and I was like, okay,
Couldn't breathe.
yeah, we're good here.
You might want to go see a medium. Yeah. Have them check you out. How about you?
I do have one, actually. So this is probably, it was during the summertime. I want to say it was probably about maybe beginning of July. 'Cause my uncle owns a mechanics and towing shop. And before that, my grandpa actually used to work in the same building when he was a truck driver back in the 80s. And at that trucking company, there was a mechanic who was killed in the late 80s there in the shop. I mean, ever since then, all the mechanics, all of my uncle's employees, if you were there late at night, you were hearing stuff.
You were gonna hear stuff.
That one night in particular stuck with me. So my dad also works there as a heavy wrecker operator, so like for the semi-trucks. And we actually just got back from a late night call, and it was probably, I want to say 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. And when we get back, usually I would go upstairs and I'd punch out the time cards up in the front office. Where the truck's parked downstairs, you have to walk up this rickety wood staircase and then walk through the whole main shop up to the front office. And mind you, it's pitch black. And, there's no lights on, nothing like that. There's, of course, broke down trucks with hoods up. There's stuff everywhere. So there's plenty of places for people to hide behind if they wanted to and everything, which also makes it scarier. So all I have is, of course, my little light that I had on my side. Just had it on the floor, make sure I wasn't tripping, nothing. And as soon as you walk up the stairs through the doorway, there's the fabrication area, and there's pieces of metal on the floor, and I had just walked over them. Of course, it made a tinking noise, and I kept walking. And as I'm walking, I hear the same tinking again, like someone else had walked up the stairs with me. So I thought it was my dad that was following me. So I told him, and I was like, "You want me to wait for you so you can use my light?" And I didn't hear a response. I was like, "Okay." I turned around, I shined the light up, and I didn't see no one standing there. All right. I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, okay, I'm tired. Maybe I just misheard it or whatever. I started walking. I got to the second bay of the shop. And this is where that guy was killed, actually, back then. And all of a sudden, I got that weird uneasy feeling. Like, grabbing the door handle or at the house. That same feeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, there's someone in here. I felt like I was actually being watched. I was like, oh, there's someone up here. So I was thinking, could it's been someone that broke in? Is there someone in here that shouldn't be in here? Start calling out, no one's responding. So I just ignored it. I continued up to the front of the office. I punched out the cards. And I start walking back through, and then I hear what sounds like a wrench drop on the floor in the back of the shop. And that's the way I have to walk through to go back downstairs. So I was like, all right, there's definitely something in here. And finally, as I picked my light up, I saw something dive behind one of the trucks that were being worked on. It looked like a shadow move through. And I was like,
So
okay.
you both have actually seen
Like a
Like
figure,
actual
like,
things moving, yes.
like a
Shadow
figure, things
persons.
move,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
like my vase will fall off my dresser and stuff. Like I don't know, like it just sits there. I mean, it doesn't.
You guys should have been on the Halloween episode.
I know.
Jeez, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, as I walk back through the area now, I'm looking. As soon as I dive behind the truck, I whip my flashlight up to make sure there's no one there. The classic. You think something's gonna be there, you look it up, and it's not there. But as I kept walking, I tripped, and I was like, "What the heck did I just trip over?" I shine my light back. There's nothing on the floor. I know I didn't trip on my own foot.
Right.
But it felt like my leg had caught something. It was pulled backward almost. So I was like, that seems very weird. And I don't know, just something, the uneasy feeling I had the rest of the night, even going home, and just, I was like,
Look
yeah,
in your back
that just
mirror,
wasn't,
back seat.
yeah, it was.
Or when something happens and you can't move, like you're just stuck there. Like you'll see something or you feel something and then you're just stuck. Like it feels like you can't move your body at all. You're just standing in place and you're stuck there.
Yeah. Well, we went from American Heroes right back into Ghost. Didn't really do that. Yeah, but who knows? Maybe we'll see some American Ghost heroes.
Probably see a lot of them.
Here's a question for you. Like, you've been doing this so long. So, are there do you have your favorite people you like dispatching for?
Yes.
Versus lease.
Yeah, we do. I think the departments know which ones I like to dispatch for
and which
the ones
ones
I don't. And it's just personalities,
Yeah.
I'm old school because that's how it was when we started. You can't really be old school now. You get in trouble.
Yeah.
Not that anything's done maliciously or bad.
No,
You know what I
but
mean. It's like growing up. If something
It
happened,
is.
you got the belt or whatever was close, whether it be a wire brush or something, and you can't do that kind of stuff now. So.
No, and sometimes, you're not thinking about when you're talking, you start to say something, and you're like, oops.
Yep, whoops.
Let's
rewind
it
that.
over the ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've caught myself. I mean, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to hear about this. But I, for one, can never say thank you enough to you guys.
Thank you.
I'm
It's
so
our job, though.
appreciative.
It's
But
what
you
we do
know,
every
I
day.
mean, the way I see it, you are my lifeline, and you know, things go bad real fast. Who's to say that I have time to grab that little down button?
Yeah.
And like you'll know. I mean, you've known me for a while, so you could. I'm sure you could tell, like, if you were talking or dispatching for me, like where I'm at with when I'm like whether I'm mad.
Right.
Someone's got all
The
my
inflection
pads,
in
like,
your voice would
yes,
definitely
the
give it
flick-
away
yeah.
if something's going on.
Yeah, which that's the nice thing, because when you're dispatching for the same people, you
You learn that.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like another family.
yeah,
You know, we spend all the holidays together.
yeah,
You know, every day we're
yeah. But I can never say thank you enough, and to all of you, I want you guys to know that.
we appreciate
I
it.
mean,
Thank you.
It's and you know, I've been with some of you for the way I see it, I've been with some of you for a long time.
Yeah. Well, close to 30 years.
Yes, yeah, a long time. And you guys are just about to start.
Yeah, right at the beginning of
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
You're about the same age when I started. Pretty close. Yeah.
So what ship are you hoping to eventually get? See, if there was one I could be on and pick, of course, I'm a Star Trek guy, so it'd have to be the Enterprise.
Yeah. That was one of the, and actually the new Enterprise is still in.
Are they going to make
manufacturing.
another one?
Yeah,
Because-
it is actually. I think it's due to be commissioned in actually the end of next year.
'Cause
If it's not the end of next year, it's the beginning of 2020.
All right, because I just heard they were decommissioning the Enterprise. and I
Yeah,
was
but they
like,
actually they do have another one on order.
Oh.
all right, you
but-
can't get away. You can't do away with
No,
that.
you
ship.
can't. But there was
No.
other two, probably either the Ford or the John F. Kennedy. You know, the
Okay.
two carriers that were there, both nuclear carriers as well.
Is there anywhere like, what is the biggest thing that you would like to do while you're out there?
Well,
Well, let me ask you, what's one of the scariest things that you're afraid that could happen?
well, if I'm staying firefighter route, right?
Right.
It's kind of hard when you have to go in, and your life depends on the person behind you,
Yes.
or in front of you, or to the side of you. Like, you have to put all your trust and all your effort into the person you're working with, and you have to be able to trust them and know and understand that you have to do their job as long as you're doing yours as well.
Now I don't know if you were working this night, but this is back when I was in Fowler, and they had the fire at the intersection of Anglin Road and 7, and it was cold, everything was icing up, and that house ended up being a nightmare. They had double walls, double roof. Have you dealt with a
Yeah.
house like that yet?
Yes.
Yeah, those are, and they didn't have the studs. They didn't have the fire studs.
Yeah, balloon frame. That's what it's
Yep.
called.
Yeah,
The whole thing normally goes up if it starts somewhere.
Yes, it does. It goes fast too.
Yes.
And I think it's Matt. Anyways, they went in, and he took 2 steps in and fell down through the basement. And it turns out that guy was huge into reloads and firearms, gunpowder everywhere. Then it was hurried up and became a rescue to get him out before the whole place
Blew up. Yeah.
Yep. That was, and then and the other nightmare was they're bringing in all the tankers from all the ponds, and everything's turning into black ice,
Yeah.
everything's freezing. The whole thing was a
Yeah.
complete nightmare. And,
Yeah.
as a cop, I'm just standing there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm front seat watching,
Yes.
and the guy that fell in the basement, because we've become close with our
yeah, it's not
fire
much
departments.
you can do to help.
No, I can't help nobody because I don't have turnout gear. I can't get into the fire. But all I know is that my buddy just went through the floor and is now
Yes.
down in the basement, and and you guys, that has to be a whole different dispatching for the fire departments.
It is. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. We have 43 agencies that we dispatch for, and 25 are fire, and 18 are police. And the bad thing is, we can't see what's going on. Like,
Right.
you were there and saw all that, and
Yeah.
then if they yell, for a Mayday, you know, we don't, other than somebody fell through the floor, we can't see what's going on, and we're waiting for an update, and we're waiting for an update.
And that has to be hard because you're just sweating it out, like
Right.
waiting to hear something.
The latest we had was, it wasn't fire related, but I took a call for a domestic up north in the county, and the gentleman ended up taking off, got into police pursuit with Champion. The county picked it up. They went into Warren Township, went into Warren City, and it ended up being in an officer-involved shooting with fatality. And, you know, they come across screaming shots fired. We don't know if it was a cop that was hit,
Right.
if it was, you know, the suspect was hit, you know, so then we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting, and we have to wait for a phone call, or for them to finally come across the radio and say, you know, all of our guys are accounted for, we're all okay,
We're
nobody's
okay.
been hit, you know.
Yeah, that's got to be stressful. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing your side of the job, to be truthful.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Well, let's move on. I think I told you about embarrassing. Did I tell you about embarrassing moments? It's
No.
a segment. It's a segment where you just
Surprise.
tell a funny story about something that's happened to you. That's all it is.
Like at work,
Yeah, wherever. At work, home, whatever.
I don't know if any of those were
That's
shareable.
embarrassing.
My end. Probably an open mic and swearing. That's probably about as far as I can go with that.
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Trav.
Oh, I mean, I guess I can go first. Well, other than him just stating about the open mic, you know, hopefully we don't do that, everyone. But
Oh,
actually,
you'll be surprised.
yeah, right.
Do you know what's worse? If you are in a position and you have a radio and you don't realize it,
That your seatbelt's up against it.
Yes, that happens.
And then you're
And
talking.
you're keyed
Yeah.
up,
Yes.
and you're
Yes.
going on about something you don't like.
And then we have to make a phone call and be like, Mike, shut up.
You
got an open mic.
Open mic, be quiet. Just told
Stop
the whole
talking.
world, yeah, shut up.
But actually, just yesterday, Veterans Day Assembly, I didn't realize when I was ending the panel, when I was trying to thank them for answering the questions, I didn't realize I said thank you for your questions. I worded it very weirdly. I meant to say thank you for answering our questions, and I was already thinking 2 steps ahead,
I'm
and
gonna
I
have to
misthought
rewatch
that one.
that.
Yeah, if you watch the YouTube video, you can hear it actually very
I'm
well. I say
rewatching
thank
that.
you for your questions. Yeah.
Hey.
But
It happens.
it still went really well yesterday, I still got to say. But
You know what?
and I didn't even realize immediately. It wasn't until I was sitting there and, of course, sitting next to me, Kayla, and she was like, "Do you realize how you ended it?" And I was like, "What do you mean how did I end it?" And then she told me what I said, and I was like, "I don't remember saying that." And sure enough, I was watching the video later.
He did.
I did say that, and I was like, "Ooh."
So
I
we had a
didn't say
big
exactly that.
assembly here yesterday with the veterans, and it was really nice.
It was
It
nice.
was
It was
nice.
nice.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
You know, outside that little thing.
Sure, the honor guard did well.
Yeah,
So I
you
was
know,
in
you
that,
guys
so.
did a great job. You guys did a great job.
One of my embarrassing moments in in fire class last year, we were doing training, and I was in full turnout gear, breathing air, okay? And we have stairs in fire class that are super thin, right? It's thin staircase. And the steps are real close together, okay? It's not my fault, I promise. And, you know, I don't have small feet, okay? But we were walking down the stairs, and it was just me, right? I'm walking down the stairs, and I fell on, like, the second step we're going down. I fell down the whole staircase on air face first. And the faces, I look up, and it didn't really hurt that bad. I mean, I have a pack on, and I have my turnout gear, so the only thing that really hurt was the pack coming down, like, on my back real hard. So the chief and all of them come running over, and they're like ripping the gear off me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. I just fell face first down the stairs, and we all talk about it. Like, we're going to walk down the stairs, they're like, Lily, don't fall. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Those are hard to live down. They won't let you live. There's the
No.
brotherhood, because you know what? They're never
No.
gonna.
Yep.
They're never
Yeah,
gonna let that down.
yeah. They'll never let you live that down.
Nope.
But well, let's move on to shout out time.
It's shout out time.
The shout outs is pretty much you can say hello to whoever you want. you're not limited to 1 or 2 or 3 people. So, do you want to give a shout out to whoever?
Sure. I'll do a shout out to everybody I work with at 911. My wife Christine, my 2 boys Austin and Aiden. I enjoy working with everybody at work and wish I had more time to see the family, but you know, that's the line of work we're in.
Yes, it is.
I'm coming around to maybe 3 to 5 years, if not sooner, I'll be able to retire. We do a lot of work in our, for the Vienna Historical Society. We redo headstones at the cemetery.
Oh, that's nice.
We straighten them, we repair the ones that are cracked. So that's kind of the route I want to do when I go and get out of public safety. I want to totally get out of public safety and do something on the other end that, you know, when you're working in the cemetery, you read the stones and you think about the people that are there,
Yeah.
and nobody has to talk to you when you're there. So it's very peaceful and calming.
Do you know what I was looking at? And I was telling my wife last time we were down at Myrtle Beach, and it was late. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. But that's when they come out to clean the beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching this dude driving up and down the beach with a big, huge Mercedes John Deere. I mean, I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, dang, that thing's got AC in it, stereo. This is like the Mercedes of tractors. And he just cruises down the beach. You see the little arm go out, grab the garbage can, bloop, puts it back, and keeps on cruising down. And I'm like, that's
Perfect
not a bad
retirement job.
gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one, he just cruises down. He just, like, got that thing that, like, scoops up the sand, grabbing the garbage out of the sand. And I'm like, that's not a bad gig either.
Yeah.
But the only thing you got to watch out for is you don't run over drunk people that are passed out in the sand.
Right.
Yeah.
Cover 'em up.
Yeah, that's it. That's not a bad job.
Yeah, right?
Like, no
That's
one's
right.
talking
Right.
to
Right.
me.
No.
You know, get up, and then you know, go back home, go to sleep for a while, and then you got the whole day again. It's not a bad gig. But anyways, where are we at? Shout outs.
Yeah, Lily.
Go ahead, Travis.
Oh, you're right. You're over down here on the left.
Gosh.
I got a lot of people, so.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Captain Blair. He definitely teaches us a lot, and we learn a lot. And he's the reason I have some of the experiences that I have, and some of the things that I've overcome. In my claustrophobia is getting way better. It's like non-existent. And my station at Braceville, they're all very nice towards me, and we have a good time training nights on Mondays and running calls.
Better say hi to that recruiter.
And my Air Force recruiter, it would be really bad if I forgot his name right now. It would be really, really bad.
I think she did.
Sergeant Harmon. I got it, I swear.
Got it.
Travis.
All right. Well, I mean, piggybacking off yesterday, I'm saying probably give the whole student body a shout out who organized that whole event. So of course you had everyone that was part of the ambassadors. So Noelle Cheney, Denasia Stella, Kayla Myers, me. Off of that, we also had Addison Sanders helping us. Addison was also running part of this.
Blonde one.
Our honor guard, Civil Air Patrol, which consisted of me, Elijah Haynes, Noelis Caraballo, and George Moore. All the kids from the media who made it possible to actually have that filmed, the slideshows and everything come up at the right time, the music, having everything streamed in the classroom. That was a lot of work, by the way, so big shout out to all the kids in the media classes. Mrs. Bako for keeping us all sane during that time, trying to organize everything, and we're also helping keeping her sane a little bit, but we made it all work. And I think finally just a big shout out to all of our veterans, first responders, police officers, EMT, everyone who has to put their lives on that line every day and who have served us.
So you got to give a shout out to these guys.
And the 911 dispatch.
Yeah, they're
of
the
course,
guys
they're
taking
the-
care of us.
They're making sure I guess you guys
No,
get there.
see, there's the crazy thing. Nobody thinks about that.
No, they
And
don't.
it's not on purpose.
Right.
But the truth is,
They always say we're the unseen.
you
heroes.
are the unseen.
The unseen
Yeah.
heroes.
Yeah, you are. And, you know, people don't. I'm shouting out to you guys because people don't realize, like, one, you are on a phone or whatever. You're the one that literally takes that distress call.
Yeah.
You're the one that's listening to that person in distress. And then you're sending your people to that call, not knowing what they're walking into.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
So,
'Cause you know half the time when they get there, it's going to be a lot worse than what it sounds like on the phone.
it's going to be a show.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you're friends with these guys, and
Yep.
yeah.
So, thank you and God bless you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to shout out. Thank you all for joining me today.
Very
Thank you
welcome.
for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for showing. And I know you're busy, so that's hard. I want to thank everybody behind the scenes that's producing and doing all the work for my show. It's a lot of work, and I appreciate all of you doing it. I'd like to shout out for all my followers. Keep following, hit those likes for me, and let's move on to things to know before you go.
Things to know.
This will be
Before you
something
go.
big because you know lots of things going on. So basically, if you know something that's going on in the neighborhood or wherever, and you would like to bring to anybody's attention, bake sale, whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do know something. Fundraiser.
Well, like I mentioned, we do a lot of work with the Vienna Historical Society. My wife, Christine, is the president there. We try to do a lot of projects. Now, about this time of year, we're going to be slowing down because it's cold. But there's also an organization in Vienna called VCAC. They do a lot of stuff for the community, and I know we're going to be kind of going with them in December for some Christmas programs. And I know VCAC is on Facebook, so if you go on there and check that out.
Okay.
Also, we're hiring at 911. We're very short-staffed right now. I think we're supposed to have 35 employees, and we have 16 right now.
You guys on the PERS
Yes.
system and all that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The adrenaline rush and the excitement of the job is
You'll definitely have
is
it.
great. I do enjoy my job. You know, you get to learn and talk to a multitude of personalities.
Everything.
But if anybody's interested, you can go on, look up Trumbull County 911. There is a application you can fill out, or if you're interested, you can call us, and we do job shadowing. So you can come down and sit a couple hours with somebody, wear a headset, listen to the radio traffic, because a lot of people think we just answer on the phones and that's it.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
not
do.
true.
We dispatch everything. So if I take a shooting call and I happen to answer the phone for the area I'm dispatching for, I also dispatch that out. So if anybody's interested, get a hold of us.
It's a lot too. I could say this from every time I've ever been down there. I mean, the phones are nonstop, and you know they each have their big sections of computers and everything, and it's crazy. I don't know how you guys keep track of stuff. I don't.
It's like any new job. Once you get there and get started, you know, it's very intimidating. When I first walked in,
It
I'm
is
like-
intimidating if you don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
and that was before all the computers we have now. We were pen and paper back then.
Yes. Yeah.
And I walked in, I'm like, I'm 19 years old. I'm going to be able to do this job. Are you kidding me? And at the time, the only experience I had was I was a manager at McDonald's for,
Right.
I don't know, maybe 5 years. So I was jumping from, but I will say, fast food job did bring me out of my shell of dealing with the public. And the multitasking that I learned there is what carried over to the job I'm at now, which helped me tremendously. You have to be able to multitask, and I don't think I'd be able to do that if I hadn't worked there.
I don't like multitasking. I don't. You guys know anything going on?
Do you have anything?
Nothing? Okay. Well, until next time, thank you for joining us, and we're going to go out of service. Take care very much, and see you next time. And I apparently am needed. All right.
That's probably not a good thing.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
especially when they typed it and they
Yeah.
come in and say no.